Blue said cockily. I'll be fine. I'm more concerned about this heat anyway. I think I'm going to head back to the room and change quick. Red gesturing at his jeans, changing into something more suitable. Completely slipped his mind. Blue just laughed. You're not very smart when it's not about Pokemon. Red rolled his eyes at him in response. Just take these and find somewhere we can sit. Preferably with some shade. Red handed Blue 2 Pokeballs. Charizard is in one of them. You can let him out. Lapras is in the other one. But keep him for now. I won't be long. Red gestured a wave as he walked back towards the hotel. Yeah, I got it, Blue said, even though Red couldn't hear him at this point. He walked down onto the sand and looked around. He could see the lifeguard sitting at the top of the lifeguard chair. People were at the beach soaking up the rays, and some were in the water playing and swimming. Blue spotted an empty space underneath a large parasol. Perfect, he thought. Come on, Eevee, that's the perfect spot. Eevee happily followed along, both of them weaving between the people and Pokemon that were scattered on the beach. Blue finished laying down a couple of beach towels the hotel provided. He called out Red's Charizard and his own Arcanine. He thought they'd both enjoy some of the tropical sun. He sat down with the Pokemon, waiting for Red to return. When a man caught his attention, Blue watched him for a little while. He seemed to be picking things up and throwing them into the ocean. Curious, he went over. Hey there, what are these things, and what are you doing with them? Blue asked, noticing a small black mass of males in the male's hand. Alola, not from around here, are ya? These are Muku. They are Pokemon that live in the sea, but sometimes they come ashore. But if they stay out of the water too long, the man pauses, throwing the Muku into the ocean. They dry out on the hot sun. Oh, I see. Want some help? Blue asked and began to look for Muku along the beach. That'd be great. That'd be a great help. Thank you, young man. Blue just grinned at the man before spotting one. As he picked up, he nearly dropped it. Ew, slimy, aren't they? The man laughed. They sure are. That's what protects them while they are out of the ocean, but only for so long. Once Blue got the hang of holding one without dropping it, he threw it back into the ocean. Great job. He threw a thumbs up in Blue's direction. Blue returned this with a grin while looking for more. A few Muku later, and Red had just made his way back to the beach, now wearing shorts and flip-flops. He looked around for Blue, but couldn't see him. Neither could Pikachu. After a short while, he spotted his Charizard with Arcanine and Eevee. Where's Blue gone, Eevee? Eevee! The Pokemon got up, wanting Red to follow him. After picking up his other Pokeball, Eevee directed Red to Blue, and just as he saw him, he jogged over. Hey, Blue! Red shouted. This startled Blue, causing him to nearly drop the Muku he had in his hand, that he had swung back, ready to throw. The Muku had also become startled, its guts almost hitting Blue, causing him to fall backwards into the sand. Red tried not to laugh, but couldn't help himself. Neither could Pikachu or Eevee. You okay down there? Red was now standing over Blue, holding out his hand so he could help him up. Yeah, what was that? Blue grabbed Red's hand, the Muku still in his other. The question is, what is that? Red asked, pointing to the Pokemon in Blue's hand. This is a Muku. I've been helping this man put them back into the ocean, otherwise they'll dry out if they're in the sun too long. Blue gestured to the man, who was now further down the shoreline. Oh, he's kind of cute. Oh no, I'm thinking of that one Vine or meme, whatever it is, where it's like, look, survivors. Ooh, he's kind of cute. And then the guy shoots him. He's like, whoops! It gently placed his finger on the Pokemon's head, causing the Pokemon to do what it did to Blue. Not so cute when it does that. Red let out a nervous giggle. Blue laughed at him, throwing the Pokemon back into the ocean. The man came over. That seems to be the last of them. I thank you for your help, young man. He took Blue's hand, shaking it in gratitude. You're welcome. Well, I think I'm gonna head out to the ocean for a bit. Red called out his Lapras, just so it was on the edge of the water. Well, I'm gonna work on my tan, Blue replied confidently while pulling off his signature pose. Smell you later. Red just laughed at him and boarded Lapras, sitting with his feet just touching the cool water. As Lapras headed into deeper water, he turned to Pikachu. It's so nice here, right, buddy? Pika! Pikachu happily replied as he sat by his trainer's side, watching the water below them. A little time had passed and Red was leaning against Lapras's shell. His eyes closed with the hot sun beaming down the bottom half of his face, since his cap protected the rest. Red didn't move or speak to Pikachu again. You know, I'm glad we came here with Blue. While things aren't 100% between us, I'm still happy we could reconnect again. Pikachu squealed in a delightful tone in agreement. I was silly to think he hated me. I feel like such an idiot. Pikachu moved closer to Red and nuzzled against him, comforting him since he knew exactly what his trainer meant. Just then, Red's body flew forwards. He wasn't able to keep his balance and fell in the water. When he came back up, he grabbed a hold of Lapras. What was that? Something had touched the water. Touched his foot in the water. Pika! Pikachu looked off the back of launched off the back of Lapras as a large shadow seemed to disperse into smaller shadows in the ocean. Pikachu tilted his head. Pika? Looked at the back of Lapras as a large shadow seemed to disperse into small shadows in the ocean. Wishy-washy? Unsure what it was, they made their way back to the beach. Red called Lapras back as clothes dripped with water. He made his way back to Blue, who opened his eyes and lifted up his sunglasses as his friend's shadow blocked the sunlight. Hey, do you Whoa, what happened to you? Decided to take a swim? Blue laughed, sitting up. I don't actually know. A Pokemon must have thought my foot was food or something, and startled me. Blue just continued to laugh as Red took off his cap and stopped as he began to take his shirt off. He could feel his cheeks getting warmer. He quickly put his sunglasses down and tried to get back to sunbathing, but he couldn't help himself but glance over at Red as he laid his shirt in the sun to dry. The droplets of water that were scattered across his body glistened in the sunlight. Blue couldn't handle it, but he didn't understand why. He got up, turning away from Red before he could see his face. I think I'm going to get a drink. Want anything? Blue asked. Red was just sitting down. Sure, whatever you recommend, he replied, laying there, letting the sun dry off his body. Blue hurried off to the bar by the hotel. I don't understand. Why did I get flustered? I don't. Buddy, I diagnosed you with being gay. You are gay. Very gay. He thought in a slight panic with himself. He was questioning so much, his mind was racing. He ordered a couple of fruity cocktails and calmed down while they were being prepared. When he got back to Red, he handed him his drink. Thanks. Red smiled. Blue just sat down without saying anything. He stared off into the distance, watching the sun rays ripple in the water. Pikachu and Eevee were playing, chasing each other around in the sand, with Red happily watching. Time passed, and some talk here and there, when Blue got up and started to collect his things together. I think I'm going to get dinner. You coming? Red just stared at the sky and shook his head. I think I'm going to watch the sunset. It shouldn't take much longer now. The sun's already getting low, but I'll meet you there. The sun's already getting low, but I'll meet you there. Blue just sighed a little, but not in disappointment. This was the sort of thing he expected from Red. He sat himself back down beside him. It's okay. I'll watch it with you. Really? Red quickly blushed with embarrassment. He definitely came off way too excited. I mean, thanks. Red smiled at Blue before looking back at the sky. Blue put his forehead against his knees. He blushed again. That damn smile. Blue thought, it's so cute. That's when you know that you like boys and you like your best friend or childhood friend / rival. Blue was snapped out of his own mind when Red nudged him. Look, it's gorgeous. Blue looked up at the sky. It was a beautiful pink and purple with a tinge of blue, mixing with the deep orange and yellows. Wow. It is, Blue replied, glancing over at Red again. He could see how happy something so simple made him, that it made Blue happy. He looked back at the sky and smiled. He was grateful to have Red back in his life. Around half an hour, Red passed and Red stood up. He redressed himself, then gently pushed Blue's head. Let's go eat. Finally, I'm starving. They packed up their belongings and called back their Pokemon and headed to the hotel's restaurant. Sorry, I keep pausing. My mom keeps coming into the room and I don't want her saying things, and also I don't want you guys to hear what she says and that we're talking, because that'll be very awkward. Okay. After they ate, Blue completely stuffing himself again, they headed back to their hotel room for the night, since it was pretty late at this point. Red swiped the key card, opening the door. As he entered, he took off his cap, placing it on the small table nearby, with Blue following him. Think I'm going to shower. I smell like the ocean. Red pulled his face in slight disgust. Do you need to use the bathroom at all? Red asked Blue, kicking off his flip-flops. Nah, you go ahead. I'm just going to sleep. I'm exhausted. Because my cousin wants me to visit tomorrow morning, so I need the sleep. Need to sleep. You gonna come along? Blue replied. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Plus, we can explore Mele Island after. Oh, I think I remember all the islands. Red smiled, entering the bathroom. Yeah, sure thing. Blue weakly replied. He threw off his shirt and almost collapsed onto the bed. As he got under the thin blanket provided, it was way too hot to get it under the quilt. Since Red was in the shower and Eevee was now in its Pokeball, Pikachu decided to lay in the middle of the bed, right next to Blue's head. Pika! Pikachu gently yawned and curled up. I'm tired. Curled up, Blue opened his eyes slightly and smiled at the Pokemon before falling asleep himself. A small while later, Red had finished the shower. He dried off and threw his pajama pants and that he decided to get ready earlier in the day. He opened the door quietly since he hadn't heard any noise coming from the room since he finished, and sure enough, he saw that Blue was asleep. Pikachu was curled up on the bed too. Red smiled at them both and quietly walked past the bed to the balcony at the other side of the room, quietly opening the sliding door and leaving it open behind him as he stepped foot outside. Yes, sliding doors make the most noise, but how can you quietly open a sliding door? Those things cause so much noise. He leaned on the rail of the balcony. There was a warm breeze that felt cool in his damp hair. Looking up at the sky, the moon was now bright. He sighed. Red had a lot on his mind. I'm not going to overthink things. I don't want to ruin this trip, he thought. With you, he said softly, looking down now, playing with his thumbs. He was interrupted when he heard Pikachu. Pika? Red turned and put his head through the door. You okay, Pikachu? He said. I'm sorry, I'm watching something and I can't help but laugh. Okay, you okay, Pikachu? He said softly. Pikachu didn't reply, but moved over to Blue, who had begun moving quite a bit in his sleep. Red quietly shut the door behind him as he came back in to make sure Blue was fine. Putting his hand on Blue's arm, he tried to wake him. Blue? Blue. He would wake. He said something inaudible and settled back down. Red sighed and looked at Pikachu. He got into the other side of the bed, being careful not to disturb Blue. Careful! And carefully scoop up your new best. Carefully place a cup on him. Spiders are really stupid, so they won't see coming. Well, let's see it coming. And scoop up your new best friend and eat it back into the wild. A little while passed. Red couldn't sleep. He was tired, but his mind wouldn't shut off. That's me every single night. I'm so tired, but I'm thinking of so much. But I'm only thinking of my ships. I have a problem. He always knew some things for definite, but he began to feel more after reconnecting with Blue. But he couldn't say anything. He didn't want Blue out of his life again. His thoughts had been interrupted again. Blue was stirring again. Red didn't know what to do, so he turned to face Blue's body, put his arm over him. He pulled him slightly towards him. It's fine. I'm here. And with that, Blue calmed down again. Red smiled and was finally able to sleep. The next morning, Blue was the first to wake up. He was a little dazed, and it took him a moment to realize there was weight over him. Stupid phone. God damn it. Hold on. Weight over him. He rubbed his eyes with his palm, then rolled over to face Red's direction, only to be met the face full of Pikachu. Just then he felt the weight around him hold tighter as he was pulled a little closer. Then he realized, oh crap! He looked over his body to confirmed his guess. Yup, Red had him in his arms. Blue, because he slightly panicked, his face flushed red. What do I do? I don't want to wake him. There's no escape if I don't wake him. Should I just pretend to sleep again? I don't know. Go back to sleep. Pretend you're asleep. Oh, no. Blue fought with his thoughts. He decided he would try to sleep again, but he couldn't. So instead, he decided he would try sliding his way out. Whenever you try to do that, you can either wake someone up or cause them to stir, which is crazy because I've done it before. Partway through his task, an alarm started blaring from his phone that was on the set of drawers next to the bed. Blue was startled. It couldn't be helped. I completely forgot I set an alarm for today, he thought. This noise had woken Red. His eyes barely opened, but he could see Blue in some weird position, having tried to escape Red's grasp. He quickly let go in embarrassment. I'm sorry. You were unsettled last night. I couldn't wake you, and that calmed you down. Red threw his face into his pillow, bright red in embarrassment. Hold on. Oh my god, there are pillows right there. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Here's a pillow. And, Red threw his face into his pillow. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. Threw his face into his pillow, bright red in embarrassment. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why they call him Red. Blue was just as embarrassed at this point, he couldn't get mad. He didn't mean anything by it. Nope, absolutely not. He was just helping me out. Blue sighed. It's fine. Thanks for calming me down. Blue sat on the bed, his back turned away from Red. Red looked back up at Blue. It's not. I shouldn't have. Red started to say, but Blue cut him off. It is. Sometimes I have dreams. They're unpleasant. Red was looking at Blue properly now. The sunlight was beaming onto Blue's back. Red sat up and put his hand on Blue's shoulder, making Blue turn at him. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'm here now, Red said, smiling at Blue. No matter how red his face was still. Blue felt himself melt inside, but he had to keep his composure. Thanks, Red. He stood up and stretched. We'd better get breakfast before we miss... Better get ready before we miss breakfast. All right, sure thing. I was about to say, we better get breakfast before we miss breakfast. Red responded, nearly jumping off the bed. They both got dressed and were ready to set off for the day. Red followed behind Blue down to the restaurant, but he couldn't help but worry for Blue now. He knew something was bothering him, and that unsettled Red. Of course. Breakfast was quiet for the most part, and Blue hadn't eaten nearly as much as he normally would. He even had food left over by the time they finished. It was clear to Red that something was up with Blue. He hasn't been himself all morning. Wait, it's not because of me, is it? Red thought. Gah, it probably is. That's it. I must... Blue interrupted him. Are you okay? You seem a little stressed. No, I'm fine. Just Thinking about all the cool Pokemon we're gonna see today. Blue threw him an unconvinced look, while Red just awkwardly smiled. I'm more worried about him than myself, Red said, inaudible to Blue. After breakfast, they headed to Hia City. I'm probably butchering that. They went to get their tickets for the ferry and to Melamela Island, and Red insisted he'd pay. He told himself he was going to do his best to try and help Blue. He wanted to let him enjoy himself. The journey across the water wasn't particularly a long one, and when they docked at Howlett City, they were greeted by Samson Oak. Alola, cousin. It's nice to see you. Oh, right. He makes Pokemon jokes. God, kill me. Samson laughed cheerfully. Red and Blue looked at each other. They could see the cringe on each other's faces. Cringe! Yeah, that was probably me whenever he made, like, Pokemon jokes in the show. I was just like, no, God, dude, please stop. I was dying on the inside. Yeah, great to see you too. Blue put his hand to shake his cousin's, but insisted to pull him to a hug. Gah, this is Red. Blue put his hand up best as he could gesture to Red while he was being crushed in an embrace. Nice to meet you, Samson. Red raised his hands in a waving position. Pika! Pikachu did the same. Samson walked them through. I really forget how to call these things. It wasn't a long walk, and they were soon at the Pokemon school. They were greeted by a man in a lab coat. Professor Kukui! This is Professor Kukui. He can answer any questions you might have about our region. He is going to upgrade your phones with a complete list of Pokemon here in Alola, help you while you're visiting us. Rotom. Why can't they just give him why can't they just give them the Rotom decks? Samson exclaimed. That's great. Thanks, Professor. Blue replied. You're very welcome, Kukui responded and proceeded with upgrading their devices. They talked for a while, particularly Blue asking questions. He was very interested in research to do with the region and its Pokemon. Yeah, doesn't Blue, also do research? I forget. Research to do with the region and his Pokemon. Red spent the time with some of the professor's Pokemon. He was playing with a Rockruff, but caught himself staring at Blue now and then. Luckily, Blue was too busy to realize. Red just sighed and said, I'm such an idiot. The Rockruff didn't understand at all, and Red didn't expect it to. He just laughed and gave it belly rubs. Belly rubs! They had just left around lunchtime, thanking the professor and Samson. So, do you want to head to the shopping district? We passed it on the way here. We can grab something to eat if you want, Red asked Blue. Sure, we can do that before we explore the island any further, Blue replied. But his response was flat, which Red didn't like. It made him feel more guilty. No, boy, don't do it. They looked around the shopping district a little while. There were clothing shops, souvenir shops, food outlets, just so much to take in. Whoa, what's that smell? Blue turned to Red. I don't know, but it sure smells sweet. Let's check it out. Malasadas! I want to try some. This is gonna kill me. They followed the scent over at Malasada shop. Which do you want? Red asked Blue, taking his wallet out. You know, I can pay for myself. Blue responded, I know, but I got this. Trying to be a gentleman. I can pay for myself. Blue responded, I know I got this. Red shot a smile at Blue. Okay, I'll take 2 of these. And cinnamon flavored ones. Once Red had ordered for the both of them and paid, they decided to head along Route 3 towards Melemele Meadow. They ate on the way, Red sharing with Pikachu, and Blue had taken Eevee out his Pokeball a little while earlier. They made it to the meadow, the area filled with sweet-smelling flowers. Oh, wow. Blue looked in amazement. The area was a sea of yellow flowers with various Pokemon in the area. Blue took out his phone and looked up different Pokemon. Orocorio, Cutiefly, and familiar ones. Caterpie, Metapod, and Cottony. Ed sat down at the edge of the flowers and fixed his gaze onto a Cutiefly. I think I'm going to draw you, he said cheerfully at it. Huh? Blue looked down at him. Red was sat cross-legged and pulled out a notebook from his bag. As he opened it, he could see a few of his drawings, some writings he couldn't make out. Quite the artist, are you? Blue said, sitting himself down next to Red. Oh, these? Not really. I just enjoy noting down different Pokemon. Red blushed a little. I used to draw on the map too. You know, when we went on our journeys. He looked down at the blank space in his notebook and took pencil paper, beginning to draw the Cutiefly. Blue felt his heart beat hard and put his hand on his chest. So cute! Aww. Wow, they should have warned me for curse warning. I should have started reading this before and then probably read it to see if this is okay and safe for me. Even though I've read so many things that weren't safe. They sat for a while. Blue silently watched Red work away. Pikachu and Eevee played the flowers. Hey, Red? Blue quietly let out. Blue, what's up? What's up, Blue? He put his book into his lap and turned to face Blue. I know what you've been doing today, and you don't have to. I'm fine. Blue looked down at his hands as he held them together. I've been doing what I have because I felt bad about what I did. It clearly made you... Blue cut him off. Wait, you really thought you made me feel like this? He was silent for a moment. He blushed in embarrassment. Well, yeah, I mean, why else would you have been down all day? Blue just laughed gently. I'll tell you later. Just not now. There's other people around. He remembered Red telling him, I'm here now. He smiled a little at the thought and felt he could truly trust him. Red had only been so genuine. Okay, if you're sure, Red replied. It must be because of his nightmare, but I wonder what they're about. Before Red could say anything else, Blue piped up. When you're done, we're going to a restaurant called Aina's? Apparently they have the best pineapple juice. Throwing his fist in front of him, Red just smiled softly at him. I'm just glad he's perked up, he thought. When Red was finished, he placed his notebook beside him and checked up on Pikachu. You okay, buddy? Pikachu! That's great. He gave Pikachu a thumbs up. Hey, can I look at your other drawings? Blue asked simultaneously, picking up Red's notebook. Red quickly took it back before Blue could open it. I'm sorry. There's just, some personal things in there. Oh, I apologize. I had no idea. Oh, I need to do my girly Blue impression because why the frick not? Responded a little shocked. No, it's fine. You can look through these pages and the next. But please, no more. Red flicked through the book to the pages he mentioned, then showed it to Blue. Seems like the champ isn't just good at battling Pokemon, but he can draw them too. Who would have known? I remember I saw a YouTube channel reading fanfiction, and they said that Red was such a good drawer. He can draw details so beautifully. He could draw better than everyone else in the household, better than gold, silver, and blue/green, because in the book he is called Green. I would have known. Blue playfully joked. Red literally couldn't say anything. His face had gone bright red, and he had no way of hiding it. He rapidly started packing his things away. Let's go to that restaurant you mentioned. Blue just laughed at him. Sure thing. Red walked ahead, his face still flushed. He spoke up. You know, I'm not the champion anymore. You shouldn't call me one. Blue was silent for a second. I'm just gonna go for it. As long as I can keep my cool. Teasing him is fun, he thought. He grinned. But you're still a champion to me. Red stopped for a second, then carried on walking ahead. That got him. Blue laughed to himself. Okay, I think that's it because I've been reading for 37 minutes. Oh no, that's so long. Bye.